Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Tittle Tattle Tarot. It's Georgie, and I was so delighted that Prince Edward got his title of the Duke of Edinburgh. I was so happy about that. I did a reading on it latter part of last year. I think it's about December. I'd only had my channel for a few days when I did the reading on it, and I got that it would be a birthday gift for him from the king, but I interpreted it as his 60th birthday. So I said 60th birthday, and he got it on his 59th. So I'm absolutely delighted. I want to do a little spread because of his health. I don't know there's anything wrong with his health, but I'm just seeing this man sort of very thin, looking very gaunt. And I did a reading on this a few weeks ago, probably about 6 weeks ago now, about his health. And I just had it that it was dreadful stress over everything, just an awful lot of stress. And I want to look at this title now and see if, being secure in this new title, being elevated, being valued, whether that will, help his health. And I sincerely hope that it does. I just get a feeling when I've read on him privately that it's some kind of gastrointestinal thing, almost like an irritable bowel, that kind of, something wrong with his digestion. So that's the feeling that I'm getting, and I'm just hoping that stress can cause all kinds of things. With the way you process your food, the way that you can, utilize your food. So I'm just hoping now that he has this title, his wife's been elevated to the Duchess of Edinburgh, that, wonderful, that he can now relax more and that it will start to show in his health. His health will start to improve. I'm not saying he's ill, but he certainly looks very thin, very frail, very gaunt. So that's the way I want to approach this. See if this title will, buoy him up and allow him to just start putting on some weight, improve his digestion, improve his stress. Okay, so that's where I'm going to go with this reading. So I've got the Shadowlands Tarot, and I thought that I'd do a Celtic cross. So with everything being about this new title and about Edward's digestion, his frailness at the moment, let's just see if this title is going to sort of help build him. Let's just have a look. Okay, so I'm going to again set everything out. Okay. So we're looking primarily at his health. Where are we here? So the first card that came out was the High Priestess. So I think he's known that this has been coming down to him. The High Priestess is somebody who holds secrets. So I think that he's been very wise, and he's known that this has been the plan all along. We, of course, haven't, and we've been saying, oh, you need to acknowledge your brother to Charles and all this kind of thing. But he's known that it's been coming to him, and he knew exactly when he would get it. And, he's held on to that. But I still think it's been a lot of stress around losing both of his parents. So we've got the fact that he knew that this title was coming, but as far as his health is concerned, just losing your parents so quickly, one after the other, and just the stress of everything. I don't need to say what those stresses are, but just all of that, although he has known it's coming, it hasn't really helped him to have better health, helped him to be less stressed. He still had that stress, even though he was aware that there was this secret and that it would be announced. And crossing that, we have the Ten of Wands in reverse. So I think now he just feels like he can let things go. He can let go of that burden that he was carrying. His father was the Duke of Edinburgh, for all those years, and now he's stepping into his shoes. And I think any sort of burden that he had about, losing his father, losing his mother, he can start to let it go, because he can step in, he can become the man that his father probably wanted him to be all along. Although Prince Philip loved Edward, again, he was probably one of those sons that he didn't really understand. I think Edward was very very theatrical, a very sort of tender-hearted boy, tender-hearted man. And I think it always caused some lack of communication between them, because Philip didn't understand Edward. That's the way that I read this. And now that Edward can step into, he's been gifted that, he knew that he was getting it. He knew. And now he can step into that role. I think that he feels he can let go of that feeling that his father, I don't mean was disappointed, but he wasn't the son that his father wanted him to be. He wasn't the soldier, he wasn't the Navy captain or Navy person, So I think this is letting that go now. He knows that he can step in, do this job, and do it his way, but also do it in a way that his father would totally appreciate and be very proud of him for. So he's letting go of those feelings of, I was a little bit of a misunderstood son to my father. So he's letting that go, which is great. Up in the top, look, we've got Sophie, I reckon, here. 9 of Pentacles. Sophie's worked very hard in her role with the royal family, and now she's being rewarded. The Pentacles here, the 9 of Pentacles, she's sort of pre-Empress energy. And, how wonderful she looked, in these recent photographs, just totally glowing. They're older now. They're both sort of 58, 59. So, they're my kind of age. And they've been rewarded, and rightly so. And she's stepping into this, and she's the confident woman. This is a wonderful energy. It's that confidence. It's not the bragging. It's not like the 9 of Cups, that sort of gluttonous bragging energy. This is just like stepping into your own power, and you've worked hard and you've reaped the rewards. And this is very much Sophie's energy. And then at the bottom, we have the 7 of Pentacles. And you reap what you sow. And he's waited, he's bided his time. And this is at the bottom. He's done all his charity work, he's watered his garden, and now, the fruits of that labor are coming out. And the 7 of Pentacles, I don't think he ever doubted that all the work that he put in would be paid off, because of this High Priestess here. He knew. We didn't know, and we were like, come on, Charles, do it. But he knew it was coming, and he knew that all the work that he would put in over the years with his charity, just quietly working behind the scenes, just being that brother that just sort of did what he did, with no grandiose overtones or anything like that. He put the work in, and his garden's growing. So 7 of Pentacles, that's the underlying energy. Sophie's in the top, and I think that's lovely. He's very much got his eye on her, and he's very, very proud, very, very proud of her. That he's very, very pleased that he put that energy and that work in, and it's paid off. In the past, I think he was in the Hanged Man very much, that's the way I see that in Edward's past, is just being a little bit in no man's land, as the youngest of 4 children. You could see that his path, his life was a little bit not insecure, but he did move around. He wasn't quite sure where he fitted in. And I think he was always standing back a bit. He wanted to be theatrical. He wanted to be, on the stage, I reckon. And he had very much a link to the theatre. And I think that was his first love. And he did do things with the theatre. He tried to go the route that his father wanted him, and he tried the whole naval thing, and it wasn't him. And I think that goes down to this burden here that he can let go now. It doesn't matter now. He's got the Duke of Edinburgh. He can let go what his father's expectations were of him because he's going to make a damn good job of this. But yeah, I think in the past he was in the hangman because I think he wanted more, but didn't know what, and it was just a case of just doing your duty, plodding on, doing your duty, but feeling that slight, I don't know quite what the future will hold for me here. So going forward, King of Wands, wow, he is passionate about this. This is the future. This is somebody who is, yes, I'm going to set the world on fire, or I'm going to set the, this Duke of Edinburgh title. I'm going to really take this. I'm passionate about this. I'm going to make it mine. I'm going to do all kinds of creative things. This is very creative energy. And he's going to really run with this. He's got so much, you could see him beaming. You could see Sophie beaming about it. They've got so much joy about taking this on, or about this being gifted to them, should I say. So there, that's lovely. So here's the immediate. So, I'll go across the bridge here. We've gone nicely from being quite sort of in the hanged man. This is past thinking, life being, well, just do your duty and not quite sure where things are going, and being the youngest son, not having your life map planned out, to, a father that didn't quite understand you. And, he can now let that drop. I'm not saying his father didn't love him, but didn't quite understand him. He can let that drop because now he's got what he knew he was going to get, the Duke of Edinburgh. And then coming in, wow, just so passionate about it. So we've gone across the bridge here. So let's go to the outside influences here. His thoughts, Two of Wands. Oh, now this is going to be Two of Wands. Is that sort of getting ready? You're on the starting blocks. And, it's very much two's a union. So he's going to be working with Sophie. He's going to be working with the people at the Duke of Edinburgh. There are going to be new alliances with them. Obviously, the alliance that he's got with his wife, which is the most important one. But, he's got a lot to learn now. And this sort of energy here is, oh, do I do this? Do I do that? Not in a bad way, but do I go here? Do I go there? He needs advice from people who have been involved with this Duke of Edinburgh situation or position. He needs their advice, and he's a very sensible man. He will take their advice, but this is how he feels at the moment. Wow, I've got a lot to learn and a lot of advice to take, but I will work in union with people because that's the kind of man he is. He will be advised and he'll have good advice around him. So that's his situation. So looking from the outside in, what do people see? Justice. Just people like you and I, not people in the court or people in his family, but, the public. Justice. Oh, you worked so hard for this. You deserve it. You worked so hard, and we are so pleased that you got this. So that's a lovely reaction from the public. Yes, we are so happy. That is right and just. You put in the work here at the Seven of Pentacles. You never wavered. You were always loyal. You never said anything about your family. You were always where you needed to be, when you needed to be. And Sophie up here, she deserves it so much. She was one of the Queen's favourites, and doesn't she deserve it to stand in her own power and be praised because she deserves it? And they've never been big-headed about anything. So yes, the public see this as total justification. So the Seeker, what's the universe saying? The Seeker is the Fool. Doesn't mean foolish. It just means that new journey, this new start. What an adventure for him. Something that he can really call his own. Something that he can put his stamp on. Go off into the future. You think about the Rider-Waite pack with his trusty dog, his knapsack on his back, and yes, already fresh-faced, ready to learn. So absolutely brilliant. And then the end result is the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is right on the top. I see this as better health, better, better life situation. All's going well. When your wheel of fortune is the right way round and you're sitting on top of it, well, good for you. Everything's working for you. So with this as a background for health, I think that any troubles that he's had with stress, we see here, he's let stress go. He's let stress go. I think this is going to be a massive thing with him regaining some weight, filling out a little bit. It always worries me when people lose a lot of weight and they start to look gaunt, because, once you start to get very thin, and if something attacks you, like you get pneumonia, or you get something that you could normally fight off, when you're very frail, it really knocks you down. And this is one thing that bothers me with him, that he could be very frail and get something that he finds very difficult to fight off. So I'm going to go back to the cards. I'm going to have a good old shuffle. I'm just going to move everything up because all that was brilliant, and I'm just going to ask specifically about his health. This title and everything. What about Edward's health? What about Edward's health? Can you tell me, cards? Will this title, this position, will this lead to him being less stressed? Will it help him to regain some weight? Okay, let's just look specifically at health. Three of Pentacles, working with people. That's it's a good card. Good card. Let's look at Three of Pentacles. King of Swords is the truth. King of Swords is also Prince Philip's energy, very much so, I think. He's got the opportunity to do this. So again, let me just have one more. Come on, be very, very specific about his health. I don't see, yeah, Knight of Wands. I don't see anything here that is telling me anything about, a bad health situation. Three of Pentacles, again, it's teamwork. We got that feeling in the Celtic Cross, didn't we, about working together with people at this Edinburgh, Duke of Edinburgh awards, Duke of Edinburgh title, the whole concept of this. He'll be working with people as a team, and I think he's very much a team player. I think he does thrive when he has people around him and he's learning. And so, yeah, I think this little creature here smiling. So, I think that's a very good omen, that he will have very supportive people around him. King of Swords, that was very much sort of Philip's energy. So I think Prince Philip's looking down on him and saying, good on you, son, you've got it, and go and make me proud. Oh my goodness. It's got quite emotional there. So yeah, I think he has his father's spirit around him, very much so. Gosh, honestly, that hit you there. So yes, and I think any sort of feeling that he's had in the past of, a little bit sort of apathetic, I think when his mother died last year, I think that this apathy was around him. I can't, and I said to you at the time, I just felt that, he lost a lot of weight, and it was, I don't want to be bothered. He did his duty. He never failed to do his duty, but I think that really he didn't want to. He struggled a lot, and now he can let that struggle go. And I see that, I've got this opportunity. I'm no longer feeling apathetic at all. I'm very excited. So I see that as, a very good card. And then again, Knight of Wands, it's that passion. I think that we're going to start to see Edward slowly put on some weight. If he's had anything gastrointestinal, like maybe irritable bowel, maybe even a little ulcer or something that's just, caused him trouble because of stress. And I must point out that this is all, my conjecture looking at the cards. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what's going wrong with this man, but I don't feel that it's anything really serious. And I didn't last time. But I think this title is just going to buoy him up And we're going to start to see him just put on a little bit of weight, and he's going to look much better. Already you can just see him starting to blossom, can't you? And the same with Sophie. So very happy. So there you go. That's my reading for today. I hope you enjoyed that one. And all the very best to Prince Edward and Sophie. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.